Welcome, Decomposers. Today I'm going to tell you about an encounter planning strategy that will ensure your combat is fast, exciting, and adds to your game's story every time you tell your players to roll initiative. Along the way, I'll go over 3 additional tips that will help you speed up your combat as well. Let's start the delve. I got the idea from playing war games, and I know most of you are probably cringing at the thought of bringing something from wargaming into your RPG, but Dungeons & Dragons was inspired by war games, and there are still some nuggets of wisdom we can carry over from that genre, one of which is setting a number of rounds. The main idea of 3-round combat is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to plan for our encounters to last 3 rounds or maybe even less. And on each round, we're going to do something that will heighten the encounter. This will give us the nice narrative arc that we're looking for and encourage players to make choices beyond how many dice they're going to try and roll this round. In round 1, you want to guide the players into setting up some kind of strategy, or get them into some kind of position, even if it's everyone panicking. Build the action, establish the mood. Are the characters overconfident? Are they tired from the last fight? Paint a picture for the players of how their characters might be feeling going into the encounter. This also brings me to our first tip. Right after initiative is set, get the players to give you a quick description of what they're going to do for the round. This might sound like an extra step, but when you have a game with several players, this gets everyone in motion and they can even start rolling dice. So rather than getting a big description, just ask if they're going to make an attack or cast a spell or move somewhere. And then go back and cycle through the players and resolve each one with more detail. By the end of round 1, players should have an idea of what they are up against. The players have probably figured out how difficult the encounter is to strike or affect, and they've felt how hard the monster can hit back. Now you're ready for round 2. Round 2 is where you want to add in the narrative by introducing a complication. Maybe the bandits the party is fighting have taken a hostage, or the bridge everyone is standing on is beginning to crumble. Pull from characters' backstories, like maybe the rogue notices a crest on the wizard's amulet, and her mentor had that same crest as a tattoo. These turns could also be beneficial to the characters, like the rest of the monk's ninja clan could arrive. Regardless of the specific twist, it should take focus away from just trying to kill what's ever in front of the party. By the end of round 2, players should be deciding on how to handle the turn of events while trying to not lose ground in the fight. This brings me to tip number 2. Use the average damage for monster attacks. Don't burn up game time by rolling damage dice for 10 different goblin attacks, just assign the average amount of damage per each attack. As the GM, it's easy to spot and be critical of things that the players are doing that might slow down the game, but make sure that you do the same thing for yourself as the game master. And one big place where we can lose a lot of time is rolling out a lot of dice for separate monster attacks. Round 3 is going to be the climax. If the characters are starting to gain the upper hand, tell them it looks like the monster is about to fall. Encourage the players to make a final push with their powerful spells and abilities. By the end of round 3, it should be fairly clear if the players have the upper hand or not. Now you can move on to the resolution. And for the resolution also comes our third and final tip for speeding up combat. And that's let the monsters run away. Only the most disciplined soldiers and creatures fighting to protect their nests will want to fight it out to the end. Even if the characters are up against a horde of monsters, after a few of them have been cut down, you can have them start to flee. Pursuing fleeing enemies or fighting monsters defending their nests presents an interesting moral dilemma for the characters. This is a good moment for the characters to play their alignment or defy it. Character flaws, ideals, and bonds can also come up in play. The same is true if the PCs are losing. Let the players know that they're giving up ground, and this might be their only chance to flee. If players are really eager to fight it out to the bitter end, you can roll out the rest of the fight guilt-free from any resulting character fatalities. Maybe one player wants to bring in a new character, so they use this moment to have their current character bravely cover their teammates' retreat. The exact resolution can be hashed outside of initiative. So there you have it, our 3-round combat and 3 tips that will help you speed up your encounters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join us at 10 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays for Decomposing Live. And thanks for watching.